All right, all right. So how are we going to round this off, right? So we're sitting there, we're blowing through this CFO. If you were with us on the iFast Agent webinar, you remember we went through myfloridacfo.com, and the only thing we talked about was this Jimmy Petronas guy, how great he is, and he was elected. He oversees everything. He has his own Department of Financial Services. He has his own customer service, because not everything is a crime, right? But this is Florida. This guy has to deal with the Florida man. And let me tell you, I'm going to show you later on in this course when we're actually explaining the dots, not just identifying the dots, where you can find the press releases. I remember over the summer, it was something like $150 million in healthcare fraud came out of just like Boca. All these people riding around with these fancy cars. Yeah, they're jacking the government left and right, man. We're going to talk mad trash about all these bougie, effing trendy, look at me dropping our hashtags, right? Effing trendy. Anyway, so if they commit a crime, they basically are going to move the case or move the issue from customer service to the Division of Investigative and Forensic Services, okay? The Department of Financial Services, the entire purpose of this department and giving it to the chief financial officer is to streamline the Florida government, okay? It wouldn't make any sense for customer service to have to go to another division to start investigating something, right? And vice versa, all the rest of the other divisions inside of, the DFS, or if it came to a different part of the state government, if those entities needed customer service or administrative help, they actually get it from the Department of Financial Services. It's there to provide that assistance because the chief financial officer is in charge of everything financial and insurance related. Makes sense, right? Imagine if you went to Walmart and you wanted to return something. You bought something from the toy department and something from the cooking department, and you had to go return, both of them. Neither one of them worked out. It's Walmart. It's Walmart. They could both be broken for all we know. Like, don't play. I'm one of those people that pays like 5 to 7% more for Target, and if I can avoid that, I'm like all Amazon up, killing the economy. But you ain't hear that from me. Anyway, when they go ahead and they move that over to the division, you got to remember, the Florida man could be packing heat, dude. We see all the time in the news, there's always some kind of craziness coming through. So if we're investigating a person, that person could very well be a committed criminal, right? So what I want you to highlight here is on 2624, the Division of Investigative and Forensic Services, and then jump over that encompasses blah, 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 and highlight law enforcement. These guys are law enforcement. What do you need to know about this division, the Division of Investigative and Forensic Services? It's law enforcement. They are literally police officers protecting us against financial crimes. Makes sense, right? Some of these crimes are, these are identity theft rings and things along those lines. There's a lot of, this isn't just somebody stealing your medical information anymore, okay? So, and what I want you to, after law enforcement, just go down to skip over that second line at the end of the third line, highlight the division investigates. That's it. That's what they do, man. It's called the Division of Investigative and Forensic Services. How about we drop the fancy CSI Miami forensic part of it? What do? They investigate. Would you tell somebody to go investigate? Like Paul Blart Mall Cop, you want him going to investigate an identity theft ring? No, I think not. I think you want to send somebody in like Judge Dredd or something like that, somebody who can do something about it. All right, think about the CFO as Judge Dredd. Why? Because his people are packing, and he has the right to call a hearing right then and there. Well, not really right then and there. You got to prove you guilty and stuff. But we do have the right to have a hearing, right? What was that? Quasi-judicial. Look at you already forgetting stuff. Maybe you didn't. I see a couple of you paying attention. Anyway, let's get down to these bullet points. What do they look for? Insurance fraud. I guess you can highlight that, right? If we're going to be doing anything wrong, it's not like we can steal a pack of candy here. The only thing that we could do wrong is insurance fraud. I'm sorry, man. I think I might laugh every single time, but I know we've been hitting this for about 5 minutes, right? So I'm gonna give you about 20 more seconds of loving right here before we move into the next section. Workers' compensation fraud, fire, arson, highlight that, misuse of funds. Fire, arson, if you remember and you didn't fall asleep when we were doing the iFast agent webinar, the chief financial officer is in charge of everything financial. And if I was to go ahead and torch this house right here because I wanted my insurance money, oh, there it is, there's the connection. Arson. If you burn it, they will pay, right? Well, you better make sure they don't find accelerant in the corner over there or else you're going to pay, because the Division of Investigative and Forensic Services works for the State Fire Marshal, and the State Fire Marshal is Mr. Jimmy Petronas. That is right. So not only is Jimmy the CFO, not only is he head of the Department of Financial Services that has a customer service division and these big Judge Dredd looking dudes packing guns with the ability to have hearings, but he's also the fire marshal. That doesn't mean the dude's out there chucking hoses around, right? It means that he takes care of everything related that is going to touch back to the business of insurance or financial matters, okay? CFO, put it together, right? That's it.